evening, dear viewers. Welcome back to our channel. Tonight, I have a spine-chilling tales to share with you. Gather around as I recount a true horror stories that took place during a night drive. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications to never miss our gripping narratives. Now let's begin. I've been a police officer for a small town in Massachusetts for a good decade. The job's been challenging, yet fulfilling. Not so much for the pay, but for the sense of rightness it brings to the community. My province town stood snugly on the beach near the Cape with a population of about 3,000 people. It's known to be one of the safest places around the most excitement. I'd usually encounter were occasional robberies or break-ins. Nothing too serious, but as they say, you never know what's around the corner. And that saying became all too real one spring. This eerie and inexplicable incident took place in April 2021. I was on routine road patrol when I got a call about screams emanating from the beach. It was an odd call, since the beach never really required my attention. I figured it might be a shark-related emergency, not uncommon around this time of the year, prompting us to close off the beaches. So I headed over to the reported spot on the beach where a crowd had gathered, pointing and filming something in the water. I parked my patrol car and approached the gathering. At first glance, it seemed like a small buoy floating on the water. But as it drew closer, I realized it was a person's head. The realization hit me like a ton of bricks. The waves eventually brought the unconscious body ashore, and a sense of dread filled the air. The man appeared to be in his early 20s, wearing cargo pants and a leather jacket. There were no obvious signs of injury. No blood, no indication of hypothermia, nothing to suggest how he had died. It was almost as if he'd gone for a day or two, at most. I cleared the area and began performing CPR, hoping against hope for any signs of life back up. And a detective arrived shortly after. And here's where things took a strange twist. As we searched his jacket, we found a small Ziploc bag containing a folded piece of paper. When we unfolded it, a strange pattern of letters and symbols greeted us. It was clearly some sort of cipher, a code that needed decoding. We were all puzzled. The symbols seemed nonsensical at first glance, but we recognized it as a cipher, a riddle waiting to be solved. This revelation led us to believe that the cipher might offer some clue about what had happened to this man. Due to the incident, we had to close down the beach and impose a curfew in the affected area. The body was later retrieved for an autopsy, hoping it would reveal some answers. However, the autopsy only deepened the mystery. The cause of death remained unknown, and it was classified as a result of natural causes linked to the ocean. Rumors spread like wildfire through the town. Some thought he had drowned, others believed foul play was involved. Some even speculated about a connection to the Lady of the Dunes case. In an earlier unsolved mystery in the town, the air was filled with theories about a potential serial killer lurking near the beach. The FBI and forensic experts tried to decipher the code, but even with advanced computer programs, the code's meaning remained elusive. Several years have passed and the mystery remains unsolved. The incident continues to haunt me, triggering countless questions. What really happened to the man? How did he die? What was the significance of the encoded cipher? And what enigmatic message might we have uncovered had we cracked the code? The case still sends shivers down my spine to this very day. This happened about a year ago. I had just finished a long 12-hour shift at work. It was around 2 in the morning. My car had this ongoing issue with the right headlight, which seemed to keep going out. I suspected it might be a fuse problem, but my attempts to fix it hadn't been successful. I replaced the bulb numerous times, but it just kept flickering off. It was pretty frustrating, but being a broke college student, My options were limited. So there I was driving along a dark rural county road on my way home. The surroundings were pitch black with farmland stretching out around me. I was quite a distance from any houses or gas stations. As I continued driving, I noticed a police car parked on the side of the road, completely dark without any lights on. Immediately, I thought, oh no, here comes trouble. I just knew I was going to get pulled over for that darn headlight. Sure enough, the police officer's headlights came on, and he pulled up behind me. Soon as red and blue lights flashed to life, I pulled over fully prepared to get scolded, maybe even ticketed for the busted headlight. I turned off my radio and rolled down my window. As the officer approached my car, he shone his flashlight directly into my face and pointed out that my headlight was out. Squinting through the blinding light, I apologized, and I assured him I'd get it fixed as soon as possible. He then proceeded to scan the inside of my car with his flashlight, probably looking for any contraband. The officer appeared to be in his late 20s or early 30s, built like a tank, with blonde hair standing at about 6 feet tall. He was dressed in his police uniform, and his sleeves seemed to be struggling to contain his biceps. He requested my license and registration. Nervously, I rummaged through my glove box to retrieve the required documents and handed them over. He went back to his car and spent what felt like an eternity. Inside, I was just hoping he wouldn't slap me with a ticket. The intense spotlight finally dimmed, but his red and blue lights were still on. When he returned to my window, he gave me back my papers and advised me once again to fix my headlight. Pronto, I promised. I would then unexpectedly, he squatted down, resting his head on his arms on my window ledge, and inquired about my nighttime activities. He didn't sound friendly. It was more like an order. I was taken aback because I thought he was about to let me go at this point. Nervous started to creep in. It was dark, and there were no other vehicles or people around. His face was so close to mine that it was uncomfortable. I glanced down my lap and muttered that I was coming home from work, not heading to or from a party. I was wearing my work shirt and my badge after all. Nope, just trying to get home. I added, feeling a bit irritated. By the line of questioning, he shifted his crouch closer, his face nearly touching mine, and probed further. He demanded. His questions were becoming intrusive, making me feel like I was being interrogated. No, I snapped back, annoyed. I have a boyfriend, he continued. He treats you right. I was growing increasingly frustrated. Did he think I was being abused at home? Was this standard procedure? Yes, I replied through gritted teeth. Do you live with him alone or with your folks? I live with my boyfriend. He's home. Tonight. He's expecting you soon. No, I replied in annoyance. Without thinking, he's out of town. The officer tilted his head to the side, his face even closer to mine. My common sense finally kicked in, and my heart started pounding. My older brother was visiting and staying with me, but I hadn't mentioned him earlier. I hastily, and staying with me, he's expecting me home any minute. He studied me for a few moments before nodding and standing up. All right then, have a good night, and get that light fixed. I drove off nervously, checking my rearview mirror, hoping he wasn't following me. I didn't get a ticket, so I didn't bother getting his name or badge number. I didn't report the encounter because I wasn't sure if his questions justified a complaint, and I wasn't certain about the protocol. Interestingly, a week later I was talking to a coworker who had experienced a very similar situation. A few months earlier, we compared physical descriptions, and we believed it was the same officer. Time has passed, making it unlikely that anything can be done about it now, but the memory of that night still lingers whenever I drive down that rural road at night. If you like this, then give this video a big thumbs up and subscribe to our channel. Thank you so much for watching.